Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we bought 2 new pallets, and today we're going to go over why I bought the pallets I did, how much I paid for those pallets, and then we're going to take a look at what we got. When I was at the warehouse, I decided to look for items that I've sold in the past so I would know what their actual resale value was and I would know how fast they would sell. While I was at the warehouse, there was a few pallets I decided to pass on. One was a pallet with multiple of the same item, which can be hard to sell one by one. And then there was also pallets with smaller items, which I've bought twice in the past, and I regret it because that stuff is better for eBay or flea markets or garage sales, and I don't sell that way. So instead, I went back to what already worked. From my experience selling wholesale pallets over the past year, I've noticed that for me, what works best is selling on Facebook Marketplace and selling items that sell between $50 and $150. Because when you sell cheaper items, you have to sell each one, and there could be hundreds of items on a pallet. And so it takes a lot of time. Plus, Facebook Marketplace doesn't have any seller fees or shipping, and so that adds money to the profit that you end up making. Also factored into this decision was how much the pallets were, which these pallets were originally $500, but I do have a history with the seller, and they usually give a discount when you buy more than one, so I was able to get down to $450. As I mentioned in a past video, this actually gets me to pay for the truck because the truck rental was about $100, so then I brought the pallet cost back up to $500. So saving that extra $100 basically pays for the truck rental to get it back to my house. So we unloaded the truck, and now we can take a look at what we got. Starting off is a perch for chickens. I was looking this up on Walmart, and it's about $45, so that should be easy to sell on Facebook Marketplace. Next up, we got this oscillation tool. Not really sure what it does, but I looked it up, and it should be anywhere from $100 to $150. Just depends on the exact model. So that should be a good sale. That might actually go on eBay. Random Walmart box. Let's open it up. Ottoman bench. I actually sold a bigger one that was broken for $10 in the past, so I should be able to sell that on Facebook Marketplace. So this is a brand Yes for All, and it's a mini stepper. It's for exercise. I saw it on, I believe, Walmart, and it was like 20 bucks. This is a War Mounts chafing dish, which if you see my past videos, I have sold these in the past, and this is about 60 bucks. Another random box. Oh. An oxygen generator. There's a pallet of oxygen generators at the warehouse, but I thought it was an obscure item, and it was a whole pallet of them, so I didn't want to risk it on that. But I got one so I can see how it sells. What are the chances this could be another one? Looks like it is another one. So now I got 2 of these. Maybe they'll sell on eBay. Amazon box. If I had to guess, this is going to be like some type of cover. Yeah, it's a cover for something. I'm not opening that. Yep. So one thing you can always do with Amazon returns is a lot of times the shipping label also has a return label on it, and you can see what the item is. This says it's a outdoor patio furniture cover. Holy crap. It's a heavy one. If I had to guess, it's another piece of furniture because it just says color black with a random SKU, and I've had these in the past. This is in fact the same brand of nightstands I've sold in the past, so that should be an easy 50 bucks. Next up is this fabric storage tower, which is only worth like 20-30 bucks on Walmart, so it probably won't sell for a lot, but it's something to sell. Next up is one of the main reasons I bought this pallet, and that's because there's so many gaming and office chairs on this pallet. I've sold these in the past for an average of $100 on Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, it depends on condition, so I'll have to open each one of these up, make sure all the parts are there, and make sure it's not too used. But let's see how many we got. Office chair number 1. Office chair number 2. Office chair number 3. Office chair number 4. Office chair number 5. Gaming chair. Office chair number 6. So that makes 6 office chairs with an average sale price of about $100 on Facebook Marketplace. That's $600, which means I already have a potential profit of $100. So just on this one item, I am covering the cost of my pallet. Plus we have more items to go through, so there's a ton of potential for profit on this pallet. We have another mystery box back here, and this one's a big one, so who knows, it might be 7 office chairs. Let's find out if this is another office chair. It does look like it is another office chair. So assuming all the parts are actually in this, that's $700 in potential revenue and $200 in potential profit just from office chairs. So we'll definitely have to put this together and make sure all the parts are there, but that's looking good so far. Let's go over the last few items of this pallet, and I'll show you the second main reason that I bought this pallet. Let's start over here. You have this Croac boat deck pad. I've sold these in the past. This one I think is worth about 30 bucks. I've sold them on eBay and I've sold them on Facebook Marketplace. So this should be a good sale. Next up is these Komami play fences for kids. Komami is a brand that I've sold in the past and you've seen in my past videos. And there's 2 of these. These are worth about $50 to $75 depending on the exact model. But these should be pretty easy to sell on Facebook Marketplace. Next up, we have a 24-inch fireplace grate, which I've looked it up, and it's about $45, so we should be able to get 20 or 30 bucks up for it. Next up, just a random UPS box, so we'll have to open it up. A mini cigar humidor. That's interesting. I haven't gotten any small ones in the past, so I'm curious how much this one's worth. Next up, we have an open wardrobe, which I sold similar ones in the past for about $20 to $40. So I should be able to sell this. And it does look like it's sealed, so I think it is brand new still, which is good. Next up is a ceiling fan, which is definitely not a ceiling fan based on how light it is. So we're going to open it up and check it out. Turns out I'm wrong. It is a super light fixture ceiling fan thing, which... how light it is, I'm surprised. I'll have to make sure I check out the condition of it more thoroughly before I sell it to make sure it looks like it's not broken or anything obvious. I probably won't be able to test it because you'll probably have to hardwire it, but at least I can make sure it's not obviously broken. There's one more big mystery box to open up, so let's pull it up and open it up. What do we think the chances of office chair number 8? Bar stools? I think they're bar stools. Looks like there's 1, 2, set of 3. I've sold 2 different sets of bar stools in the past. One personally and then one from a pallet. So I know these will sell pretty well in my area. So this should probably be, if I had to make a random guess, around the $100 sale. This final item will look familiar to people that have seen my videos in the past because it is an item that I actually bought on my first pallet, which is the reason I bought my first pallet, which is the Need One cigar humidors. From my past experience selling these, I know they could go anywhere from $50 to $150 selling it locally, depending on the individual model and the condition. But let's check out how many I got. So cigar humidor number 1. I mentioned in the past, TH3 is usually the professional line, which sell for a little bit more money, but depends on condition. Cigar humidor number 2. This is a 16, which I haven't sold one that small before, but it does look like it's brand new, so I just have to open it up and check for shipping damage. cigar humidor number 3, another 23TH3. This one has definitely been resealed, so this one will definitely need to be inspected, but that should be another good one. Cigar humidor number 4. I haven't seen this model before, so I'll have to look up how much it's worth. But again, it's definitely been resealed, so I'll have to open it up, check it out, make sure it works. But with these items, even if you average around $50 per cigar humidor, that's another $200 on top of the 7 office chairs I have already. You're looking at potentially $900, which is about $400 in potential profit just on office chairs and cigar humidors. So it's been 2 weeks since we filmed that unboxing, and you may be wondering whether I was able to sell all those items for $1,700 like I estimated. Well, let's go over what we found when we opened up the products and inspected them, and what was able to sell so far. Let's start with those 7 office chairs. The first one I opened was used and had some wear on it, so I fully assembled it, listed it for $50 as used, and it sold pretty quickly. The next 2 I opened were practically new, so I listed them as new in box, didn't assemble them. One sold already for $100, while the other one is still pending sale. Then we had a nice gaming chair that was in really great condition. The only thing was it was missing a washer that held the piston together, so I happened to have a spare laying around, so I was able to put that back together, and I fully assembled the chair. I listed it and sold it for $100. Another office chair had the same issue as the last one, where it was missing a washer, but I did find that in the box. So I was able to fully assemble it, and I currently have it listed for sale for $110. Finally, the last 2 chairs are actually missing the power adapter for the massage function, and one of those 2 is missing the wheels and the piston. I've reached out to the manufacturer for the spare parts, so I have to wait for them to send them to me, but I think they'll still be able to sell for around $100 once they're assembled. This batch of office chairs was a little rougher than I'm used to getting, but I still think there's great potential there. Next up, we had the cigar humidors, which were actually in better condition than they usually are when I've gotten them in the past. I have all of them listed for sale, and I think on average they should sell for around $100 each, but they haven't sold yet. We have this oscillating tool, which unfortunately turned out to be a dud. I've tried charging it multiple times and it does not turn on, so it's going to be worth nothing. This item that we valued specifically off the packaging. Next up is this fabric storage tower, which is only worth like $20-30 on Walmart, so it probably won't sell for a lot, but it's something to sell. It actually wasn't what we thought it was. Turns out it was a large retractable gate, which I found on Amazon for about $170. This can happen sometimes with returns because customers will sometimes use a different box to return an item. I haven't sold it yet, but I think I get about $100 for it. Now, I mentioned we had $250 in sales for the office chairs, but we have a few more sales. The bar stools I listed for $125, and they ended up selling for $100 pretty quickly. We also had the chafing dish for $50, the fan for $40, the nightstand for $50, the patio cover for $20, and the fireplace grate for $30. So, I already got my $500 back and $40 in profit. Plus, we have another 15 items to go through, which is another $1,000 in potential sales. I will say making $1,000 in profit off of one pallet is not always my experience. My previous best was the first pallet I ever bought, which I made about $800 in profit, but I've also bought 1 or 2 pallets where I ended up breaking even. If you want to get into pallet flipping, it's important to remember you win some and you lose some, but it's very important to learn from those losses. As I mentioned, I bought 2 pallets this time, so if you want to see what I got on that second pallet, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be posting that video next week.